All right. So I was talking to somebody the other day, one of my practitioner buddies, and they told me that, well, I don't believe in the energy work you do. I don't believe in the muscle testing and the allergy stuff you do with energy work. He was like, I don't believe in energy work. And I was like, yeah, you do. And he laughed at me, and he was like, what do you mean? I was like, everyone believes in energy work. They just don't know it. So, for instance, the easiest way to explain this is if you believe that sunlight helps your body create D3, you believe in energy work, specifically frequency work. So what actually happens is that, so you're like, well, yeah, sunlight helps me make D3. All right, cool. All sunlight? Well, no. I mean, UVB. All right. So you believe in a specific frequency of light that helps your body make D3. And it's usually, for those of you who really, really know, it's the 290 to 300 nanometer frequency range of UVB that actually helps your body create D3. So think about what that's actually saying. Energy frequencies from the sun travel millions of miles to you, and then that frequency literally alters the biochemical function of your body, helping your body create secondary, well, it's a hormone, secondary nutrients that your body has to have to survive. So, yeah, if you believe sunlight helps your body make D3, you believe in frequency work, you believe in energy healing, you believe in energy work. You just didn't know it. So that's really what's going on. So, that's a really interesting piece, because when you start to realize all the frequencies that are around you, all the 5G frequencies, all the frequencies from microwaves, all the frequencies from your cell phone, all these frequencies that are around you, you're like, now I can start to understand how these frequencies might affect us. So think of it this way. You take a magnet, which has an electromagnetic field, which is just, think of it as a frequency function, and you rub it on a nail. What happens? You've just magnetized the nail. You've just altered the way that the electrons function on that nail to create a magnetic field. So you've used a frequency to completely reset the frequency of the nail, making it functionally a magnet. So that's basically what's going on. So when we use lasers, when we use electromagnetic frequencies and things like that, that alters our electromagnetic frequency function, and it causes the body to function in a different way, just like the frequencies of light alter your biochemistry, allowing your body to produce D3. So that's the thing. So when I talk about clearing allergies by changing frequencies or resetting the harmonics of the body, that's what we're talking about. So you already believe that it's possible. You already believe it's a thing. You just haven't seen that utilization used elsewhere, because everyone's taught you that the only path towards change and healing is pharmaceuticals. They have not, they've done everything they can to be like, no. The energy healer people, the frequency healer people, they're crazy. They're not real healers. They're not real healthcare providers, not real doctors, because they don't prescribe drugs, right? The amount of people who tell me I'm not a real doctor because I don't prescribe drugs is a lot of people, which I think is hilarious, because without pharmaceuticals are basically, most of them, not all of them, most of them are derived from petrochemicals. So unless you're using synthetic chemicals to force the body to do something else, you're not a real doctor. So that's kind of where we are right now. That's where the narrative has gone. But you go into D3 and you're like, well, how important is D3? And you start looking it up, and it's massively important. You talk about energy, bone functional development, immune function. D3 is hypercritical. So, if you don't have D3, you get rickets. Like your physiology literally starts falling apart without D3, which is made from frequencies of light. So that's it. So yeah, everybody does believe that frequencies are a function, frequencies are a thing. They just have been, that information has been clouded and ridiculed and pushed down so much that they're like, well, maybe I don't believe the things that I think I believe, because what's the alternative? Pharmaceuticals. If you can't believe in frequency work, if you can't believe in the way the body was designed to function, then you're ridiculed into thinking, no, you're stupid. The only way that you can really get health is from pharmaceuticals. Then you're going to use more pharmaceuticals than you're going to use anything else. And that's why this is all set up. So when you talk about the things that, with muscle testing is the best diagnostic function you're ever going to find, well, no, that's silly, because that's based on frequency, and frequencies are silly. Okay. Yeah. Because what's the biggest thing that we see with muscle testing? It doesn't work with pharmaceuticals, because pharmaceuticals don't have the resonant field to balance your energy field. So it doesn't work with pharmaceuticals. And so everyone who is a big pharmaceutical fan or most of the medical doctors who were just taught to sell pharmaceuticals. They're like, well, I've been taught that pharmaceuticals are the way, and your muscle testing doesn't work with pharmaceuticals, so your muscle testing must not be right. Or the drugs aren't right. And I would say the drugs aren't right because if you look at the way that the medical system has gone, we spend more money than ever on pharmaceuticals and medical care, and we're getting the worst results ever. And so I think the easiest thing to look at this is go, I don't think the drugs are the right way. And if the drugs aren't the right way, and muscle testing doesn't work with drugs, but muscle testing does work with nutrition, supplementation, all sorts of other things that we have proven to be beneficial, and what the drugs are trying to replace, like for instance, prednisone is trying to replace cortisol. Okay, but it's a synthetic molecule, and so it can be patented. That's the key. If it can be patented, then the drug companies can be like, this is ours, you guys can't have it, and they can profit off of that synthetic thing. Because why would you want to use what the body's used to? Why would you want to use what the body's designed to if you're really trying to keep people sick and not trying to heal them, which is the pharmaceutical path? The sicker everybody gets, but we don't feel the symptoms, you got to keep buying their drugs over and over and over again to just suppress normal body function, which is telling you, hey, there's a problem, you should do something about it. But no, we got to suppress that and keep that information from you so that you can keep buying the drugs. Whereas if you come over here and you actually fix the problem, now all of a sudden you don't have a problem, but you're not buying drugs every single day. That creates a problem for the medical industrial complex. So that's where this really is. So if you start being like, you know what? I don't really think that pharmaceuticals are the way to go. Maybe we should find some other things, some more natural things, some more options. Maybe you should start opening up your ideas to more diagnostic testing that is not directly involved in producing pharmaceuticals. Muscle testing, subconscious, unconscious function testing, these type of things are really, really beneficial. And then once you start figuring out that the body has very specific energetic frequencies from each organ and each chemical that you're putting into it, then you'll start to understand, well, that's how the frequency function works. Because if the body if the body has issues with a frequency or hangups with a frequency, we should just reset the body's electromagnetic field so that it can balance those frequencies again, and now everything's fine. That's how a lot of the allergy depolarization stuff works. So we're not actually fixing the allergy, we're actually fixing your electromagnetic biofield, which is then allowing your body to deal with the frequencies from other things. Which is funny because legally, we can't say we're fixing your allergies because only pharmaceuticals can fix and cure things legally. You can only make that statement with pharmaceuticals. With anything else, you can't say this is treating this thing. So what you have to do for like energy work is you have to say, we're treating your biofield. We're resetting your biofield for overall wellness, which is exactly what we're doing. Because it's not just for that egg allergy. It's not just for that peanut allergy. It's for the way that your body actually functions. And so it's an all over wellness thing. So that's really, fine by saying that because that's what we're doing. But that's how, like, when people start talking about like, oh, we fixed their egg allergy or their, whatever allergies we fix, that's really where what we're doing is we're resetting the body so that it can accept different energy fields and not have problematic responses to them. So yeah, you kind of do already believe in energy medicine. You already do kind of believe that frequency function directly affects your life. What you haven't done is taken the next step. Now that you realize this is where a lot of the NLP stuff comes in, because a lot of times the NLP, you just explain something to somebody in a different way and they're like, oh my gosh, now I get it. Well, this is kind of the same thing with D3. It's like, no, you believe in energy frequency function. You just haven't anybody use those words connected this way. And so now you can start to open up your eyes and be like, oh my gosh. So this is how grounding works? Yeah. Your body resonates at the same frequency as the earth does. So if you're barefoot on the ground, the frequencies connect and it helps reset everything in your body, which is why everybody should spend a little bit of time every single day barefoot on the actual earth. So, this is also why like the people are worried about 5G frequencies. This is why people say that 5G frequencies are making them sick, because they possibly are. And that's just kind of where a lot of this stuff is. So if you guys have any other questions about it, or you want to get some of that stuff done, hit us at pillarsofwellness.com, drop comments here. But it's really pretty cool. So tell all your friends that they actually do believe in frequency function if they believe that sunlight helps them make D3, because it's not sunlight, it's a very specific frequency, UVB, and UVB, the best things we've got is about 290 to 300 nanometers of UVB helps the body produce D3. That light frequency comes in, alters the chemistry, D3. So that's kind of how that works. If you guys have any questions, hit us up. Thanks for your time. Have a fabulous day.